birthing center in Gresham wrapping up their final day of operations. We see the hoops expecting mothers are now going to have to jump through from here on out.
Plus, Portland police officers arrest one of their own coworkers accused of obstructing their investigations into a suspected homicide.
Live, you're watching KOIN 6 News at 11. Watching out for you.
A sea of candles in Gresham tonight. Protesters uniting in solidarity against the closing of Legacy Mount Hood's birthing center. Good evening and welcome to KOIN 6 News at 11. I'm Elizabeth Din.
I'm Jeff Gianola, and tonight nurses at the rally talked with our Joelle Jones about their concerns.
Nurses at tonight's rally tell us maternity patients could receive care here at the birth center up until closing tonight. But according to Legacy, any pregnant people who show up after today are essentially out of luck. Honks of support sounded off at Southeast Stark Street tonight in front of Legacy Mount Hood Medical Center. With candles, signs, and determination, former patients, staff, and community members held a vigil to push back against Legacy Health's decision to close the family birth center starting tomorrow. As the only birthing center for miles, nurses working at the facility like Christina Weathers and Jennifer Suarez tell us they're concerned about how this decision will impact the community.
It's devastating to the people who live out here. For those who show up here who aren't aware that this is happening, in spite of our efforts to get the word out, it will be a shock.
It's not good for the ER nurses that are going to have to take care of these laboring patients with very little training. It's not good for the people that are going to land at the doorstep, and it's just not good for this community.
Effective tomorrow, Legacy says the hospital will be on divert status, meaning all maternity patients will now be diverted nearly 17 miles to Randall Children's Hospital.
We are it in East County for miles and miles, and I keep talking about these mountain communities like Welch's and Brightwood and all those places that are a good 30 to 45 minutes away from here, and this is their first stop.
To ask laboring women to drive another 45 minutes downtown to Randall's is over 90 minutes in the car. That's a long time. And that's ample time for there to be a disastrous and devastating outcome, both for the baby and potentially the mother.
Legacy says they were forced to close the center because it requires 24/7 staffing and has the lowest birth volume and highest care costs across their system. With data showing of the 6 service area hospitals, 85% of East County births occur at a location other than Mount Hood. But nurses tell us the staffing shortage was caused after Legacy announced they would be closing the center. Now they say they're worried this decision will impact the most vulnerable.
This community, the Gresham area and surrounding areas, are underserved. A lot of these people don't have driver's licenses or cars or the money to take a bus.
That's what we're here today and before today and after today. We're fighting for that equity, that access to safe care. And safe birthing for all families.
In response to the rally and OHA calling into question the legitimacy of this decision, today Legacy Health says in part, quote, "We understand that this change has significant impact on our community, particularly for expectant people and families who were planning to give birth at Mount Hood Medical Center. We appreciate the thorough and focused approach the Oregon Health Authority is bringing to this important process, and we look forward to continuing this conversation with them." In order to legally stop birthing services here, the state says the hospital will need a waiver from OHA. When we reported on this issue earlier this week, that waiver had not yet been approved. But despite us reaching out to both agencies, neither gave us an update on that waiver today. Still, OHA tells us they will take, quote, regulatory action against the hospital if they continue to divert patients without that waiver approved. So we will continue to follow this and bring you any updates. Reporting from Gresham, I'm Joelle Jones, KOIN 6 News.